Today on the podcast, I'm talking about what I am learning while I'm recording my own album. This is the first time for me, and hopefully what you guys can take away from my experiences so that when it's time for you to record your music, you know what to do. We'll see you on the inside. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me today on the podcast. You are here at the Songwriters Planner podcast. And my name is Mike. I am the creator of the Songwriters Planner. This is my podcast, and I really appreciate you swinging by. Thank you. Before I get started, I just wanted to say, everybody who's new here, thanks for joining me. I don't know how you found me, but I'm glad that you did, whether it was through my Songwriters Planner website or through YouTube or through Spotify or iTunes, where this podcast is. I upload to all those places. So if you found me through them, thank you. If it was a word of mouth, thank you. Whoever told you, I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to also say that if you have not had a chance to check out the Songwriters Planner, it is a 6-month written planner that I came up with last year, introduced to the market. It is a written planner for musicians and artists to help keep us more productive, creative, and inspired. And I use mine every week. And hopefully, if you get a chance to check it out, hopefully it helps you as well. Songwritersplanner.com is where you can check that out. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today on the podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I'm really enjoying doing right now, and I'm actually enjoying doing it, and I'm really knocking my head against the wall. So what I'm doing today, I'm going to talk about some things that I've been learning while I've decided to record my own album. There is no help from the outside. It's basically me and my creative partner. We are in a project together. Neither of us have ever recorded a complete album before on our own. We've been in the studio and we've recorded with other people many times, but this is the first time we've recorded something on our own, from start to finish. And basically it has been quite the experience so far, and it has been really fulfilling for me, because I've always wanted to do, and I've never thought I really had my chops up or the skills to do it. And it's been only over the course of these past couple years where I really started getting into things like video and recording video, and then there's audio editing involved with that, where I really started to gain the confidence that, hey, maybe I can kind of at least take a crack at this. Now, when I say we're recording an album, I say that I'm basing this on something that when the finished product comes out, we feel comfortable with putting it up on Spotify, putting it to iTunes, maybe burning a couple CDs, maybe more than that, but actually releasing it to the world, to our friends, to our fans, saying, this is our next official release. Every time I've done that in the past, it's been through professional recording studios, engineers, people who've been doing it for years, producers, mastered, mixed, and you just put it in their hands to do this. But this time I wanted to say, no, we want to do this ourselves. I specifically wanted to really push doing this because I wanted to be proud of something in the end, hopefully, and prove to myself that I think I can do this. Not only that, but to prove that you as an artist, you as a musician, if you think that you cannot record your own music, and if you think that you're not capable of doing, or you don't have the right equipment, or you don't have the right knowledge, I'm here to be a living, breathing example that you can do it. You are capable of doing it. You can get the equipment to do it, and it's not going to break the bank for you. Times are different these days, and the cost of the technology that you would need to get at least a minimal recording has gone way down. You don't need a lot of equipment, a lot of gear. You don't need fancy microphones. You don't need expensive gear to at least get something that you can be proud of, and you can still release online for streaming services or whatever you want to do with it. So for me, my goal was to be able to record an album this year that I was able to put out on those places, on the streaming services, and be proud of, and show all my friends and the fans, and at least hopefully a year from now look back on it and be happy that I did it and still like it. That's really important for me. So I just would like to say that I am definitely not a professional engineer. I am not a professional producer. I'm not a professional mixer. Whatever you want to do it, I am not. And there are some really talented people out there in this world who do these things and have been doing them for years. So they have an amazing amount of knowledge. I know a couple of myself, and I would never compare myself to them. I would say that I've been inspired by a lot of my friends who do engineering and own recording studios, and they've kind of inspired me to do this. But I will definitely not come here and tell you that I know exactly everything about everything when it comes to recording, because I'm far from it. But hopefully what I can do is show an example to you and say, you know what, you're not going to know everything from day one. You're not going to know how to do everything. You're not going to know how to put mics around the room in the perfect spot, in the best places. You're not going to know how to do the best mixing. You're not going to know all these things, but that doesn't prevent you. It shouldn't prevent you from at least trying and starting somewhere. That's the beauty of where we are today as musicians in the current music industry. I'm here to tell you that you can do it and you should do it, because you will learn more as you go. So I'm just going to talk a few things that I have been learning about myself and the recording process as I'm doing this, and that you will probably run into when you start doing your own recordings. A lot of the things that I've started to dive into is learning about the technical side of what it takes to record music. Microphone placements, what microphones are best used for certain instruments or certain scenarios. What kind of, mixing and compression and equalization, EQing. I mean, those two things alone, you could spend months and months on just trying to learn, especially compression. I mean, what is compression when you compress music, and how does that help you make your music sound better, louder, and more punchy, or whatever you're going for, whatever it is that you're going for? And how does equalization help the music sound better? There are just so many things that you can really sink your teeth into. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by it all, because it is all digestible, and it is everything that you can learn. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. I don't claim that I'm going to be a pro at all these things, but just the fact that I'm diving in and learning about all these technical aspects of recording music has been an amazing transformation for me, because all these years I've never really taken the time to do this stuff, and it's really going to help me out as an artist and musician to have this knowledge at least. What is another thing I've been learning is what is loudness? Just the simple fact of how loud can your music be? How soft can it be? How loud should it be? These are concepts that I really never paid attention to, believe it or not. And I don't know if you're the same, but when it comes to really recording an album and recording your music, these are all things that if you're not doing it yourself, other people worry about. The engineers worry about it. The people who are mixing it, the people who are mastering it, they're the ones that worry about this stuff. Now that I'm doing it myself, I need to worry about this stuff. I need to think about how loud is the music I'm putting out? How loud are certain instruments? How soft is it? Can you hear it? This is just amazing facts that I'm learning and picking up in knowledge about what it is to record your own music. And I really would like you guys to look into it. If you're really, how many times can I say really? If you're on the fence about recording your own music, because I think it is just a really cool thing to try, even if you don't want to do it professionally, or if you're not even comfortable about releasing it online. It's something that I think you should definitely try to start with. So let's move on. What else have I learned to do while I'm recording my own album that I had no idea I could do? I've really learned how to look up things online and learn about them and then apply them to what I'm doing. I mentioned compression earlier. What is compression? I've done a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of blog posts on learning how to get your best compression out of your music, how to do some great EQing, how to line up your mic placements. All of this stuff I've learned online, and I have talked to people that have done it. But when you're trying to do this, the people that you want to talk to are not always available. But you know what is available? YouTube's always available, and they have amazing amounts of information out there on how to do this stuff. Some of it better than others, but still, it's there. And what I've found I've learned is that I have picked up the skills even more so on how to look something up, learn it, and then apply it to what I want to do. And that has nothing to do with music. It could be anything. How to change a flat tire, how to remove a toilet and put a new toilet in your house. The idea of learning something from YouTube and then applying it to your own life, now you have this experience that you can do this, has been amazing for me. because I've been able to learn about the things that I never thought I could or didn't understand. And all it takes is, some of these YouTube videos are just 10 minutes long. All it takes is 10 minutes to learn something, and not, of course, you're not going to be a pro at it, but to learn the concepts of something and then take it from there. Learning how to learn is one of the skills that I've picked up even more while I'm trying to learn how to record my own album. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is learning how to learn is the most important thing that I have picked up, because it's helped me through everything. Now I know I have the confidence, at least I don't know how to do this. Well, guess what? I'm going to go look it up. I don't know how to use this filter. I don't know how to use this setting. Guess what? I'm going to go look it up, and then I'm going to learn about it, and then I'm going to apply it and then move on. Learning how to learn has helped me record my album, and has at least helped me get started to a point where I feel confident I can keep doing this and keep going forward. So that is a big one. That's a huge one for you to pick up as a musician and as an artist. Is it's not just knowing how to do the things with the thing, but it's about learning how to learn. And that's what I wanted to pass on in that bullet point. Learning how to keep trying, keep improving yourself. And I'll use an example. I did some preliminary mixing of a couple of our songs, and I did some first rough takes on it, listened to it, sat on it, listened to it in the car, sent it to my creative buddy, and then decided, I need to keep doing this. I can make it better. I can make these mixes better. I can do better on this. I can do things like improve certain aspects of it, and never be satisfied. Never be satisfied with what I'm putting out there, because there's always a way that I can improve on what I've already done. Now, there does come a point where you are going to have to stop, or you're never going to finish your album. But this idea, this processing of, I can do better at it. I can do better with what I've listened to, where I've got to so far. Just keep grinding on it and keep tweaking knobs, keep trying different things, until you hear that sound in your ear, the sound that you hear in your head is what is coming out of the speaker. Until you get to that point, there's always more things you can do to make what you're learning, to make it sound better, to make your music sound better. That is something I've really learned. Again, saying really, that's something I've picked up and have learned a whole lot about this process of recording my own album, is to never be satisfied with what I've already done. There's always something that can be improved. So that is also something very important to think about when you're recording your own music. Is it really done? Are you satisfied with it? Are you hearing the music coming out of the speakers or your headphones? Or is that the same thing that you're hearing in your head? Or is it pretty close to that? Something to think about if you ever want to try and do this. Another one, patience. Learn how to be patient. This takes time. This takes it's a long grind to get the music the music created and recorded, and to where your soul is happy with it. It takes time. It takes patience. And you know what? You may not get it on the first try. You may not get it on the second try. But if you keep working at it, you'll get better at it. And to that journey that you go on while you're recording your music and you're getting it out there and you're listening to it and you're going back and remixing and remastering and re-EQing and re-recording, it's a journey, and it takes a while. And it takes a while to learn all of these things. There are so many things that you can learn in this process. So patience is another thing that I've been really getting a great understanding of, and that this will take time. And if you rush it, I know that if I rush this process, and you might be the same way, if you listen back to it a year from now or 2 years from now, you won't be able to hear it. You won't like it because you rushed it. But if you take your time and you learn how to do each step the best that you can, it will have longevity with you, and you'll still like listening to it 2 years from now, 3 years from now, however long. That's really important. I think that, to me, is what matters the most, is that I like it, and I can listen to it years from now and still like it. That's super important to me, because there's been a lot of stuff that I've recorded in the past that I cannot even stand to listen to, and I forget about it. And that's too bad, because that's you're leaving your stamp on music from the past, and you want to be able to at least listen to it and be proud of what you've done. And I feel the same way about recording my own music and trying to put something out into the world that I really like. Also, another thing that I have learned is, and that you should probably take notice too, is having realistic expectations about what it is you can really do at this point in your experience of recording a new album or recording your music. My expectations are that I know I'm not going to put something out that's going to sound as good as someone who's been doing it for years. There's just no way. I just have not put in that kind of work and put in that kind of time. I know it's not going to sound like the kind of music I hear professionally recorded, mixed, mastered. It's just not going to. I don't have those ears. I don't have that experience. I don't have that knowledge. And that's okay. That is okay. I have realistic expectations about what I want to get to and what I want my music to sound like in the end. And that is for me to be happy with it. And as long as I'm happy with it, then that's all that matters to me. And that's all that should matter to you, is if you decide to go down a road like this where you want to record a couple songs and release them as a official release for you, the important thing is that you're happy with it and you can live with it, and that you enjoy what you did, you enjoyed the process, and you love listening to the music because you did it. Don't worry about what it sounds like compared to other records that you hear on the radio or these streaming sites that have professionally recorded music. You're not that person yet. You're not that person. You don't have that experience. Like me, I don't have that experience. But that doesn't mean you can't start doing it yourself. And that's what the message is about this. And that's why I'm doing it, is because I believe I can start and get somewhere to where I'm going to be happy with what I recorded. So having realistic expectations is an important aspect to taking on a project like this, and not be getting down on yourself when you think, man, my stuff doesn't even sound close to the new album from so-and-so or something like that. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to that. You should be comparing yourself to how much work you've put in to your own music and what you like, and are you happy with it? So that's another thing I wanted to point out. If you are looking to do your own recordings and release them, don't compare yourself. Just have realistic expectations about where you're at and what you can do. And last thing, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. Everybody does. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes already on what I've been doing. I've had to redo takes, redo tracks, and guess what? That's how you learn. That's how you learn. You make mistakes and you learn from them. If you're making mistakes and you're not learning from them and you're making the same mistakes over again, then you better reconsider the way you're doing things, because learning is a part of the process, and making mistakes, the faster you can make mistakes, the faster you can mess up, the faster you can recover from these mistakes, the faster you're going to learn how to do this, no matter what it is, actually recording music, playing a song, whatever it is in life. The faster you fall down and get back up, the faster you make mistakes and recover from them, you're going to be on your way faster than the other person who's not making those mistakes because they're not even trying. There's a really big difference there. So it's okay to mess up. It's okay to fail at some things, as long as you're learning from them, because that's going to take you in a better direction, and it's going to get you to the place you want to be faster. That's a really important lesson that I've learned, and I hope that you take that to heart as well, because going out and recording your own music and saying, I can do my own album, takes confidence to do that. And I feel like I'm confident enough to do that, but I know I'm not as good as people who do it professionally. But to me, it doesn't matter, because I know I'm not that person. I have realistic expectations about where I'm at. I know that whatever I need to learn, I can learn how to do. I have patience, so I can get it done. And these are all things that fall into the bucket of, I think I'm ready to do this. So if you're out there and you're looking to record your music, but you're not sure about why you should be doing it, you're too down on yourself about giving it a shot, don't listen to those things. Get yourself some digital audio workstation recording, some DAWs, get your an interface, get some microphones. You don't have to break the bank, like I was saying, and just start trying it. Try it. See what happens, and you'll get better at it. And if you're an artist and a musician, and now you're putting out your own records, guess what? You're even more autonomous than some other people that have to rely on other people to do it for them. And I'm really big on that. So hopefully that helps you guys out. It's been helping me out. Hopefully this podcast has helped you out and given you the confidence to do what I'm trying to do. I would love to hear your stories about you guys recording your own music. Tell me what you're learning, because I'm learning a heck of a lot, but I'm sure together we could share some amazing stories about how this goes. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today on the podcast. I really appreciate you swinging by, and we'll see you at the next one. Peace and love.